What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I Hate Average podcast. Man, I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to be back. It's been a almost 3-month hiatus. I'm excited about this. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and it feels a little funny. I felt that I kind of needed to get the passion back. I didn't want to just be podcasting just to be podcasting. But I'm excited. I got my passion back. I got my vigor back. I know the direction where I want to take this thing. So, thank you guys for rocking me. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for even asking and checking for new episodes. I apologize to the guests that I had on hold for these, holding out for these episodes and not putting them out. But I think it was for a good reason. I think I'm in the right mind state now, and I'm excited where things are going. Anyway, so we got a great episode. I got the Neighborhood Hope Dealer. You got to check him out on Instagram. He puts a lot of great positive videos out, usually every morning. I had the chance to talk to him. The intro is a little weird because I pushed this episode back. I interviewed him probably the last week of 2018, and we was kind of discussing the direction of where we wanted to go for this year, 2019. So that's where we started off, but then we got into his story. So just bear with the first couple of minutes. You're gonna say, "What are you talking about? The beginning of the year? It's only April." But that's where it's just a past interview that I just never put out. But I think this is the perfect episode to start back. Putting out episodes to start back getting into the right mind frame of the show. So here's my episode with the Neighborhood Hope Dealer. I'll talk to you guys after this interview and let you guys know where I've been, some updates of what you can expect. Alright, so I'll talk to you later. Neighborhood Hope Dealer.
I'm doing alright, man. I'm doing alright. Hope you are.
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited, especially this time of year. People kind of get down in the dumps, and also people kind of get kind of worried or thinking about what's coming next with the new year and goal setting and things like that. So I think it's kind of important to have this conversation with you, speaking about hope. So can you just, before we get into that, can you just let us know how you got started, how you became the Neighborhood Hope Dealer?
I most definitely can, man. Just to start off, man, the name Neighborhood Hope Dealer came about because I moved to Dallas, Texas about 4.5 years ago. And when I moved here, man, I thought it was about to be, I moved for a job, and I thought it was about to be popping. Thought I was about to get all this money, be out here living the life,
Yeah.
And then reality hits. Mid-20s, 25, 26, reality hits, life hits, and you start needing, I started needing a mentor. I started needing somebody to speak life into me. So I started going to church a little bit more, started reading more, and I realized that the best way to get there is to be your own motivation sometimes.
True.
So then the Instagram name just popped up, and I started posting videos every day when I walked to work. And more so than speaking to everybody else, is really speaking to myself.
Yeah.
I be telling myself stuff, and just so happen people would DM me and be like, "Hey man, I needed that one today." So that's just pretty much how it came about.
And it is difficult, like you said, especially going into work. Because sometimes people don't have the perfect job that they want at the time, so people kind of get down in the dumps that they even have to walk into that place. So the fact that you was even speaking to yourself or speaking to people at that moment is kind of, I think it's something that people go through every single day. That 9 to 5, around 8:30, people start becoming kind of, I don't want to say, but I guess you can kind of say depressed. So just you having that mindset to talk to people at that moment is kind of important.
Oh yeah, man. Because I was looking, like man, I was really looking for somebody to speak life into me and tell me everything was gonna be all right.
Mm.
2 weeks after I moved to Dallas, got into I won't say a totally traumatic situation, but a
Yeah.
life altering situation, I'll say. And, you know, my perspective thing kind of shifts.
Mm.
All the money, everything that I thought was important wasn't. So, I think it happened for the better. I think it
Yeah.
kept me from getting too far out there, and it kept me grounded. And right now, I'm thankful for it. But going through that, man, it was hell. It was literally hell. So I'm just, when I look back on those videos, man, I've been reposting some of them lately, literally just because I'm in a better place than I was 2-3 years ago, even a year or 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And man, those videos, they still speak to me. I probably got like 100 videos I haven't posted.
Wow.
And they help. They just help. It's nothing phenomenal. I don't have no special kind of word for nobody. It's just reality.
Mm.
It is every day we all going through stuff.
Definitely. So, like you said, you was looking for someone to speak life into you. How did you find the life? How did you? Because you was going through that and you was making a video. So how did you know it was gonna be okay? Even though you were saying it was gonna be, how did you know? Like what was in you?
Um, Man, so it was two things, right? So I used to listen to, and I still do. I listen to Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas now, or E.T. the hip hop preacher. I listen
Okay.
to him every day, and he probably got me through listening to his videos. And this is even before he blew like he is now. Right?
Mm.
This is like when he had some mixtapes out where they had one thing on it called Blue Rain, and it
Okay.
was just like the I don't know if you're used to the Quiet Storm radio that comes on late at night. Well,
Yeah.
it
The
used
R
to
and
back in
B.
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had that rain sound, and then he just started speaking and just talking about life, talking about what you're going through. So I just remember that, and remember, man, people have it worse than me. Like I may think I have it bad, but I never have it as bad as I think, and I never have it as good as I hope.
True.
So, I'm 6 feet, on the right side of the ground.
True.
So I ain't gonna complain. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other, man, and
Definitely.
you just keep pushing. You never know what can happen.
Of course. Of course. So the organization. So you going through stuff, and you ended up speaking life to yourself, and people started becoming encouraged by it. How'd you get started with like really focusing on giving people hope rather than just posting Instagram videos? How did you focus on actually working something out to make a change?
Man. So one day after one of those videos, I was literally sitting in my office at my desk, and I was praying, and I literally prayed, and I don't say often, that God speaks to me, but I really felt like after that prayer, something came over me, and it said, do this certain thing, but do it exactly how I tell you to do it. I
Mm.
mean, what that thing was, do give back to your community, feed your community verbatim was the word I heard. And I'm from a small town in North Carolina called North Carolina Green. Actually, Rhapsody. Um, and it said, just, man, so, 2 weeks was 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I decided, I called a few people and said, hey, man, I'm going to give them, Green County.
Yeah.
How much turkey is there? I think they ain't playing. I'm going to just do what I told to do. I just want to help people. And that's what I did. And I had a rude awakening when I
Okay.
flew back to North Carolina and purchased 75 turkeys out of pocket.
Wow.
Because you never know how much it is if you got to buy one. You know what? I talked to some people, and they gave donations, and so after that, I started up a 501 organization, or found creating the channel, and to date, man, we served 200. Philadelphia, North Carolina, and that we've 500 families in these 3 years
Wow, that's amazing,
that we've
man.
been. Yeah, man. We y'all got to do something, man.
Of course,
You
of
know,
course.
when we got to do something. We got to contribute in some way. And I would hate to look back on life and say I could have did more, do anything.
That's true. And how did? And it's amazing how you went from actually needing help yourself to becoming of service.
Yeah, I was always told the more you focus on others, the less you would end up focusing on yourself.
Mm.
So the more I focused on other people, other people that maybe at least I had food. While I was going
True.
through my depression and my issues, I had food. I had a roof over my head. I could go and I could come and go as I please. I had the funds to do things. I was just in a sour spot emotionally.
Mm.
So what I did was I started worrying about people that had less than I did. When I
Yeah.
started doing that, I think my concern became less because it could
Mm.
be worse. Everything could always be worse. So
Of
we get
course.
so caught up in ourselves sometimes. So
Definitely agree.
that,
Do you
oh
think
yeah,
that
man.
you think that that kind of causes people to have more worry, more depression when they don't really realize, you know, the state of the situation? Like somebody doesn't have the sneakers they want, or somebody doesn't have the car that they want. Do you think always focusing on that and not thinking about how you could be of service that can cause basically people to have depression?
Yeah, yeah. I most definitely think it can. And I read a lot of books on a lot of things that just revolve around depression, finding the importance in your own life, why we make the decisions, have the thoughts that we do, and a lot of things revolve around um, what is it? A lot of things revolve around us looking at others and saying
Mm.
what we do or what we don't have,
Wow.
instead of kind of sort of focusing in on your own lane and saying, hey, this is my lane. This is what I do have. The best way that I keep this top of my mind is, I go back to a time I was raised in a single household. My mother had two kids. My mother made $250 a week, and
Wow.
she maintained a household. Yeah, yeah. I literally to this day, like to this day, I don't know how she did that one, but to each his own.
Yeah.
And I look back on that, man, and I just think 250. Like I make quite a bit more than that, and I'm not struggling, but I look and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, of course.
So I remember where I came from, and just remembering that, like, literally, like when I say things could be worse, where I live at right now, it's a very affluent area.
Yeah.
Like meaning, like, my neighbors drive Maseratis and things of that nature. And Ferraris
It's a
and
long way from North Carolina, right?
most definitely, man. I live in a nice area I live in a really nice area of North Dallas, and man, and it's just interesting because I never knew places like this existed.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I just never knew. I never knew a community like this was as prevalent and as prosperous as it is until I started moving around. I lived in Baltimore after college. Um, Baltimore was always an interesting one.
Yeah.
And moved back to Raleigh, and then I moved here, seeing all the differences, man. And when I was in Raleigh, every month down, we would go out and feed the homeless, and we would like physically cook the food so they have warm food.
Yeah,
And
that's
it would be
amazing.
like a group of people yeah, man, a group of people that we volunteered with the church. And you just go out and you you don't realize the importance of things, of your contribution and your service. We're all here to serve, but I think we all forget that, and we just want to be served.
True.
So
Yeah.
it's really big on just humbling yourself. Really, really, really big on humbling yourself, man.
Do you think that actually serving kind of helped you in business, like helped you get to the affluent place, in North Dallas? Do you think that your serving mentality can help you get there, or was it just you hustling, hustling?
Um, Man, you know what? It's two things: God's grace
Of course, well,
and
of
blessings
course,
on my
of
life.
course, of course.
No, number one, because I shouldn't be here. Like I'm not living, rich and famous and that. I'm doing all right for myself.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, I think, service and being willing to humble yourself and make those friendships. And when people see that you're a hard worker, and you may very well be, and very intelligent, very smart. You very well may be the smartest person in the room, but when the smartest person or the wisest person in the room can still serve, then people can oftentimes see that and they say, oh, well, he's not too high and mighty for himself.
Yeah.
He's not too good to do the manual labor. I'm never too good for manual labor, man. I still eat my jellyfish and clean floors and do whatever I need to do. Like it's nothing, man. It's when you forget what got you to where you are.
It's true.
Then you start to lose a piece of yourself.
Yeah.
I read a quote the other day that said, "Don't complain now because at one point in time you were praying to be where you currently are."
That's right. It's true.
And
it's true.
And man, that it sits on me. It sits on me a lot because I've had a lot of different experiences in life, good and bad, including honestly just seeing and being totally transparent, seeing the inside of jail cell.
Yeah.
And when you really have to sit down and gauge your actions, your life, what you chose to do, then you realize, man, this ain't. If my actions can put me in a negative place, then my actions can also put me in a positive place.
It's true.
And and I got a mother, I got a family that I help out, so I'm trying to get it, man. I'm trying to get it.
Of course, man. Of course. And I think what drew me to you was just how you was consistently positive. You was consistently pushing hope. Because I see people I'm sure you see it all the time. Everybody, even I do it. Everybody puts up a positive quote or success quote every now and then, but it's not consistent. But I think your content was consistent. So I said, you know what? I got to talk to this guy. I got to see what's going on. I got to talk to this guy.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it because man, listen, posting, having depression has got me to the point, and I suffer from chronic depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went to the doctor for, like, it's crazy stuff, but before I ever choose to take a medicine, I choose to take other routes. And going through those lows, man, when one thing I realized to do before I roll out of the bed, before I touch my phone, before I put it on Instagram or anything, man, I start praying. And I'll start praying off, bad feelings. I start praying off anything that tries to creep into my mind. And every day is not a positive day, but
of course,
how much better off would we be speaking positivity rather than speaking negativity? Sometimes it's not even about you.
It's true.
I've gotten some of the best feedback on videos I posted or messages I may have sent, or even, turkey givebacks or book bag jobs that we've done before, on the days where I didn't really feel it was worthwhile. I never thought 75 turkeys would really matter, in a county full of a couple of thousand. But when you get those personal messages, and the things that matter the most to me, people would never see, because I don't do it for recognition.
Of course,
at all.
Of course.
And man, most of those important things come on days where I feel like, man, I just want to give it all up. I want to quit my job. I want to stop doing this. Why am I coming out of pocket for this? Why am I going out begging these companies for donations and sponsorships to help serve? Like, I personally feel like everybody should be willing to donate or serve or give back or speak a positive word. Go speak to the youth here. Go do this. Go do that. But it's not about that. Like, it's simply about what can I do in this moment.
It's true.
So that's how creating a change came about. Like, it's creating a change in the world you want to see. And then, it's always a pound sign, or it's always a plus for you be the change. Like, whatever you want to see in this world, you be that.
That's
and then
true.
Everything else will follow.
That's true.
So if I want positive energy, man, you got to try to give it off.
Yeah.
It's infectious.
Definitely, man. And you're definitely helping me, and I know you're helping a lot of other people. Just for the consistent hope, consistent motivation. Because of course, like you said, you got the Eric Thomases, you have the who else you got? Everyone, the
You got
Tony Robbins, you got everybody. But seeing someone
yeah,
who is an everyday guy, someone working and actually, you know, someone touchable, that's actually still speaking to people, still speaking positive. It shows that things aren't as bad, because it's easy for Tony Robbins or Eric Thomas to speak it because they they living good, but just having the,
yeah,
the the average person or the regular person still speaking that same message shows that this thing is real.
yeah, man. It's always about and I kind of sort of referenced it earlier, man. It's about our choices and our decisions we make, right?
Yeah,
So you have to make like being joyful and being happy with your life and being content with your life and the direction that it's going is not happenstance, right? It just doesn't happen for everybody. Like
true,
that's a choice you have to make. You have to say, I choose. Like I'm going to choose the life I want.
true.
And my personal choice is, I choose to retire. I choose to never work for a corporate company after the age of 35 again.
Wow,
But that's not going to happen if I'm, just out here sad, complaining about my job, not saving, not trying to do different little things. Everything comes down to every choice that you make every day, and
true.
it doesn't even have to be big decisions every day. Like today your one decision could simply be, man, I'm not gonna spaz out on nobody, or
True.
I'm not gonna have any negative thoughts, or I'm not going to, I'm gonna speak to somebody positive. I'm gonna give somebody I don't know a hug. I talk, and when people, and I find it so interesting that it's literally a choice, um, the way that you speak to people.
Mm.
You got to speak to people with the same respect and with the same enthusiasm. Speak to them like that every day. I speak to the woman that cleans the windows every day. She opens up the door for me every day.
Mm.
The same way I speak to my CEO, the same way I speak to her, ask her how she's doing. People remember things like that.
It's true.
Um, and people may not remember a lot, but people will always remember how you made them feel
That's true.
and that you carry them out. And oftentimes they're willing to go the extra mile when they realize that. So, man, just make a decision every day to be positive, be the best person that you can be. And man, literally, man, and it's so crazy that we're talking about this right now because I'm realizing as I'm speaking that
Yeah.
my stage of depression really caused a lot in me to twist and turn and to really it showed me a lot of things.
Mm.
If you watch any of those IG videos, I always started off with raise your hands up, put your feet down.
Yeah.
Like that's a real life thing for me because I realized one day if you can raise your hands up and you can put your feet on the ground, like you're alive.
It's true.
That's step number one.
It's true. It's true.
So
So, but
man,
so
man,
if you once you notice that, you can't even complain. You can lift up your arms. You can put your feet down. And once that
yeah,
happens,
man.
you can't even think about the complaint no more.
No, like whatever you wanted to say, right? Whatever you had in your mind to say, and be like, man, I can't do da 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 da. Man, listen, right? It's people that cannot put their own feet on the ground or raise their arms up,
It's
move their
true.
neck, move any of their extremities.
Yeah.
Like thank God or whomever you may pray to. Like it don't even matter. Just be thankful every day that
It's
you can do
true.
that. Because one day you may not be able to.
Yeah.
And then the only thing you'll have is to look back on those memories of when you could. So be appreciative of what you have when you have it. Like I keep trying to remind myself, don't let your well run dry before you give thanks for what you had, before you like show that appreciation, man. I want to live my life on high at all times and just be thankful for every little thing I have.
Definitely,
Um,
man.
Cause man, it can be gone. It can be gone so fast.
It's true. It's
It could
true.
be gone so fast, man. So
And
I'm appreciative and I'm thankful.
And you helping me right now while you're talking. You're helping me, and I know when this comes out, you're gonna be helping a lot of people, man. I appreciate. Let people know how they could reach out to you, how they could help the organization, and then how they could speak to you directly.
Oh shoot! All right, well, man, I'm a part of Creating the Change Foundation. You can reach us at www.creatingthechange.org. And check out our website. You know, drop your information on there. We'd love to get in contact with anybody, and anybody that's interested in volunteering, partnering up with us, sponsoring any events, schools, or teachers that we tend to partner up with. Um, my name is Curtis Wright. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can also reach out to me on IG at Neighborhood Hope Dealer. That's N8BORHOPEDELER, Neighborhood Hope Dealer, or at Creating the Change Foundation on IG. That's our 501c3 nonprofit. But most definitely, anybody that ever, just wants to see a video and hear what I'm talking about, and it's nothing extra special. It's literally just everyday thoughts that we have to get you through that day, to remind you that, you all right. You all right, and things can only get better if you don't give up.
Of course, man. Thank you so much,
There you
man.
have it. There you have it. Great episode with the Neighborhood Hope dealer. I'm excited. I had a chance to talk to him. Talked about some very interesting things. Talked about his depression. Talked about his mental health and how while he was going through what he was going through, he sought refuge and he got help by helping others. And I think that's a important message. I think that's an important way of looking at things, because I don't know why with the last probably 6 months, probably a year, a lot of people have been discussing their mental health or having mental health issues. And it's not a new thing. I think people have always dealt with it, but it's just it's a new conversation that people are having now. And I think it's an important conversation, especially as men, dealing with, we constantly grinding, working and hustling and trying to get money. But we never really deal with the mental aspect of, dealing with racism, dealing with even with this new Time's Up, Me Too movement. Like it's affecting men, but I think because we're so busy and we're so on the run, even, politics, there's so much coming at us all the time, but I think we never really sit down and really digest what's going on. So I think people are suffering from depression because they're having so much, but they're not really digesting everything that's coming in to their brains. So people are getting frustrated and they don't even know why. But I think it was an important conversation, and I think just the way he dealt with it, redirecting his thoughts towards helping others, I think that can help a lot of people. I think the last couple of weeks people have been talking about the death of Nipsey Hussle, and it's something I was wondering, like, why everybody talking about it. But it was interesting because people were not talking about him as just a great rapper or he made money and all of that. People have been discussing how they can continue his legacy, and I find it interesting that I found it not only interesting, but I'm excited that people are seeing a death or seeing something negative and they're kind of transforming into how, let's find the Nipsey Hussles of the neighborhoods in Wisconsin, let's find the Nipsey Hussles in Chicago, because there's people doing positivity all over the world and all over this country, and they don't usually get the recognition. Just like Nipsey didn't get the recognition that I felt after seeing all of the things that he was doing. He wasn't getting the recognition that might have been deserved. But I'm happy I had a chance to talk to Mr. Wright and discuss some of the issues that we discussed in December. And hope you guys are feeling it. Hope you guys reach out to him. Hope you guys are inspired to, if you're going through things, just redirecting that energy. So, besides that, let me segue to where I've been over the last couple of months. Nothing special. It's just just been just re-examining myself, trying to figure out the direction of creating content, because it's so much. There's so many podcasts, so many video shows. There's so many vlogs. There's so much content creation going on, and for me, I've been viewing it the wrong way for a long time, and I think that's the pause that I took. I've been looking at other content creators as competition rather than just seeing them as other people like myself who just are expressing themselves. And I think that's why I decided to come back into the space and start doing my thing again, because other podcasters' success is not to my detriment, right? They're just doing their thing and I'm doing my thing. So if someone's listening to me, they could also listen to other podcasts, because we're not talking about the same things. And of course, this is not an average podcast, because I hate average podcasts, right? Well, anyway, so I don't think that other content creators or other podcasts are competition. As I was viewing it before, I'm a lot more open-minded. I'm a lot humbled by people being interested in what I have to say, along with being interested in what other people have to say, even though they're speaking about different things. And I was like, man, everybody's doing these sex podcasts. Everybody's doing the table talk podcast, and I'm just, interviewing and having weird conversations. And I think that there's a need for a weird conversation. So that's why I say, you know what, I'm back. And I wanted to start with this, talking with the Neighborhood Hope dealer, to give you guys a little dose of where things are going. I got some cool conversations that I haven't put out yet. Of course, I'm going to continue to speak with artists, entrepreneurs, writers, other podcasters. I'm just going to continue doing the conversations that people are not having. And of course, there's going to be topics that people are speaking about, but I think we're going to have different perspectives. So I'm excited about where things are going. I sound a little bit tired because I am tired. I've been watching the playoffs all week. I mean, this is probably my favorite time of year. It doesn't sound like it. I don't sound super duper excited, but I am. Dame Lillard just scored 50, closed out the series. It's been so much going on. Anyway, let me stop rambling. I'm going to holler at you guys next week. Yes, there will be another episode next week. I'm back at it weekly, every Friday. I Hate Average Podcast. Get used to it. We're back. I Hate Average Podcast every Friday. Yes.